Welcome to the Hard History Quiz. These questions are tough. Empires, battles, revolutions, and more. Keep track of your answers and check your scorecard at the end. Good luck and let's get started. Which empire built the city of Persepolis? Persians. Persepolis, founded by Darius I in the 6th century BCE, was the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. What sparked the start of the Taiping Rebellion, 1850-64 in China? Religious visions. Hong Xiuquan claimed to be the brother of Jesus Christ, inspiring one of the bloodiest uprisings in history. The Rosetta Stone was key to deciphering which ancient script? The Rosetta Stone, 196 BCE, enabled Champollion to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphs using its Greek text. Which medieval ruler was nicknamed the Scourge of God? Attila the Hun. Attila the Hun devastated much of Europe in the 5th century CE and earned the title Scourge of God. The Khmer Empire built which famous temple complex? Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat in Cambodia, built in the early 12th century, is the largest religious monument in the world. Which country was the first to grant women the right to vote? New Zealand. New Zealand granted women suffrage in 1893, though they couldn't stand for parliament until 1919. The ancient city of Carthage was in which modern country? Tunisia. Carthage, Rome's great rival in the Punic Wars, lies near modern Tunis. What was the main purpose of the medieval Hanseatic League? Trade. The Hanseatic League was a commercial alliance of northern European cities, dominating trade from the 13th to 17th centuries. Which empire used quipu as a record-keeping system? Inca. The Inca used knotted strings called quipu for administration, recording numbers and census data without written language. The first printed book using movable type was produced in which country? Korea's Jikji, 1377, predates the Gutenberg Bible, making it the earliest known metal-type book. Which English king signed the Magna Carta in 1215? John. Forced by rebellious barons, King John signed Magna Carta, limiting royal power and influencing constitutional law. The Berlin Conference, 1884-85, divided which continent among European powers? The Berlin Conference, 1884-85, divided Africa into colonies, ignoring local societies. Which empire's capital was Tenochtitlan? Aztec, built on a lake, Tenochtitlan, modern Mexico City, was the capital of the Aztec Empire until conquered by Cortés in 1521. What was the main cargo of the ancient Silk Road? Silk. Silk was the most famous trade good, though the route also carried paper, spices, and cultural ideas. Who was the first emperor of a unified China? Qin Shi Huang, 221 BCE, united China, standardized laws and script, and began the Great Wall. The Byzantine Empire was the continuation of which empire? Roman. The Byzantine Empire carried on the Roman legacy after the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE. Which war was sparked by the defenestration of Prague, 1618? The 30 Years' War. Protestant nobles threw Catholic officials out a window in Prague, sparking the brutal 30 Years' War. Which empire built the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople? Byzantines. Emperor Justinian commissioned Hagia Sophia in the 6th century, later converted into a mosque by the Ottomans. Which African kingdom was ruled by Mansa Musa? Mali Mansa Musa, 14th century, was the richest man in history, famous for his lavish pilgrimage to Mecca. What year did the Russian Revolution overthrow the Tsar? The February Revolution of 1917 forced Tsar Nicholas II to abdicate, paving the way for Bolshevik rule. Which empire controlled Egypt during Cleopatra VII's reign? Macedonian, Greek. Cleopatra VII ruled Egypt under the Ptolemaic dynasty, descended from Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy. The Opium Wars were fought between China and which country? Britain. Britain fought 2 wars with China in the mid-19th century to secure opium trade and open Chinese ports. The Terracotta Army was built to guard whose tomb? Qin Shi Huang. The massive terracotta army in Xi'an was built in the 3rd century BCE to protect China's first emperor in the afterlife. Which civilization invented the concept of zero? Indian. Indian mathematicians formalized zero around the 5th century CE, later transmitted through Arabic scholars. The Trail of Tears involved the forced relocation of which Native American nation? Cherokee. In the 1830s, the Cherokee were forced to move west of the Mississippi, with thousands dying along the way. What sparked the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989? Policy miscommunication. An East German official mistakenly announced borders were open immediately, prompting crowds to rush the wall. Which empire created the Code of Hammurabi? Babylonian. The Babylonian king Hammurabi, 18th century BCE, issued one of the world's oldest surviving legal codes. Which ancient civilization was centered on Crete? Minoan. The Minoan civilization thrived from circa 2000 to 1400 BCE, known for palaces like Knossos? Which leader's assassination in 1914 triggered World War I? Archduke Franz Ferdinand. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo set off a chain of alliances that began World War I. The Meiji Restoration, 1868, restored power to which institution in Japan? Emperor. The Meiji Restoration abolished the Tokugawa shogunate and returned imperial power under Emperor Meiji. Quiz complete. Check your scorecard and see where you rank, and don't forget to share your score in the comments. Thanks for playing, and I'll see you next time.